Did you find anything like when you were doing your research on the Actor Bahn?
I had a hard time finding anything. Like, I was literally using TikTok as a source and looking at people's videos that they filmed being under there and talking about it. 'Cause that was like the only thing I could find that existed.
Yeah, I literally couldn't find anything.
Dude, I saw a video that Will Smith did because did you see that video of that guy who said that Starbucks was like in the actor bond, but they didn't have to pay? And he was like, "Well, why do you think you never see Will Smith like in traffic in LA?" And then there was a video that Will
Yeah.
Smith did, and he was literally in traffic on like what is it, the 405, which is like their main highway or something.
Yeah.
And he was in traffic and like filming around him, and he's like, "Where are those tunnels? Where's the actor bond?"
No, literally. I wonder if you have to have like a certain level of prestige
Yeah.
to access the tunnels.
Now, if Will Smith isn't up there,
I don't know. He did slap Chris Rock.
yeah, he lost his privileges.
Yep. Paranoid or perspective?
It's time for you to decide.
Before we get into today's episode, we need to remind you that what you hear on our podcast is purely opinion-based and for entertainment purposes only.
Please be sure to do your own research and form your own opinions while listening at your own discretion.
Let's get into it. Today we're going to break down the 3 different types of tunnels that are underneath the city of Los Angeles. First, we're going to dive into the downtown tunnels. Then we'll transition into the Civic Center tunnels, I'm sorry. And then the infamous Actor Bahn that nobody can find anything on
Can
ever.
I just say, I absolutely love that they call it the actor bond.
I love it. Yeah.
That's great. I just discovered that's what they called that.
I wonder if it's because like
The Autobahn?
yeah, but also
Duh.
because like when people like first moved over here, like obviously the tunnels had to have been there before they started building up LA.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they called it that because German immigrants created these tunnels. I wonder if that's a reason.
That makes
But there's
sense.
no research, so unfortunately we can't find out.
Yeah. And we do know for a fact that these underground cities exist. They're not just in LA. There's other cities within the US. Like that's kind of a thing is they build cities on top of cities.
No, right.
Um but now what they're all used for, there's obviously the Acterbahn is a
Yeah.
conspiracy on that.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. All right. So going into it a little bit deeper, like we said, we're going to break it down into 3 different categories. So the downtown tunnels are a network of tunnels used during the Prohibition to smuggle alcohol and to go back and forth between speakeasies and basements.
Mhm.
The Civic Center tunnels are networks of tunnels that are connecting the courts and jails and banks and essentially all of like the big admin buildings in the city. And then the Achterbahn is allegedly the network of tunnels that are used as highways for Hollywood's elites.
And I've heard that a lot of them have been closed off to the public,
Yeah.
probably for safety reasons.
Yep.
And I feel like getting into conspiracies right away.
All right.
Remember when we talked about Diddy and the tunnel for his house?
Yes.
I feel like that was one where he bought the house, it was already there, but it was closed off for
Yep.
safety reasons, whatever, and then he went and opened it up.
I had that same exact thought. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I was like, I wonder if his house was like there was a speakeasy like
Yeah,
under his house during the Prohibition.
yeah, that would make sense.
But again, no way to know. So, here we go. All right, let's dive into the bootlegger tunnels, aka downtown tunnels. Does that sound good?
Yeah, works for me.
All right, cool. All right, so like I said before, these tunnels were used to transport goods and connect speakeasies during the Prohibition era. The tunnels were known primarily for connecting basement speakeasies that had innocuous storefronts above ground. So they were doing a little whining and maybe not so much dining underneath the city back in the Prohibition era.
And I feel like these are the tunnels that you see when people are in LA and somehow they find them and they
Yeah.
like have all these videos out there as evidence of like, oh, the Acterbahn exists. And
Yeah.
it's like you're just in the speakeasy
No,
tunnels.
right.
Like there's definitely tunnels out there and there's definitely people sneaking around down there when they shouldn't
100%.
be.
Yeah.
But like they're not actively used to our knowledge.
No. Yeah. For sure. And I believe that the downtown tunnels, aka the bootlegger tunnels, interchangeable names, um, The entrance for this tunnel is behind the Hall of Records, which is like the records department for the city of Los
Okay.
Angeles. So that's, I'm assuming, how you would maybe the only point of access
I did
now.
hear that there was a point of access at there's a museum type place out there. I don't remember what it's called. Allie Carter, I've brought her up before. She has a video on TikTok talking about this,
Okay.
which she claims she is Tupac's daughter. He's alive. She has proof.
Oh,
She was
oh.
also trafficked during the whole Diddy parties and all that. She's lived a whole life and then some.
She sounds like it.
Yeah, but she's got a lot of evidence for stuff,
Yeah,
supposedly.
allegedly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of just her experiences. So
Yeah.
she's telling everybody about it. Part of me doesn't believe her just because she has experience, like she's lived 20 lives. She's
No,
gone through it
literally.
all.
How old is this girl?
I think she's in her early 20s.
Yeah.
But she's Tupac's daughter, but also she was trafficked.
When was Tupac killed?
Let me see.
If she's in her early 20s, the math might not be mathing. I'm
I
not
could
really
I could
sure.
be wrong.
I mean,
1996. So that would track if she was born like right then. Um,
Tupac was killed in 1996.
yeah. Let's see. Ali,
Well, that doesn't really track because I'm almost 30, and I was born right around then.
I was born 97. I'm 20.
Yeah, I was born in
Am I
97 too.
28? Sheesh.
We'll be 28 this year.
Yeah, I turned 28 in a couple months ago. Oh, supposedly she is 31. Oh, is that the right one? Maybe not. There's so many different Allie Carters. I don't know who she actually.
I mean, if she's 31, then
If I have the right one, I think she's 31.
right.
I don't know. She looks. She's got young skin. She looks, which is probably why she was trafficked with Diddy stuff.
Love
I
that for
don't
her.
know.
Yeah. Love that.
Allegedly.
Right.
Anyways, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So she claimed that I want to say it was a museum that's in LA, and there's the staff when they take you on a tour. There's one part where they take you to these gardens,
Yeah.
and I don't know. In her video, she was just saying like the employees take you to the garden, they lead you to an access point, which is in the garden.
Yep.
And I don't know if it was like part of when she was being trafficked or like there was just like a general like secret tour that she got, but for some reason the employees led her there, and there is in the gardens a access. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there, I'm sure there's
Interesting.
multiple points, and I also saw
There has to be. If they were using them to get from point A to point B, there has to be a bunch of other access
and if it
points.
goes through the whole city, and people have houses that are kind of connect. Like, okay, if you bought a house and you found out underneath, and there's like kind of like a closed door in your house
No, literally, I'd
to
be
these
going through
tunnels,
there.
would you be like, oh, I'm just gonna leave it closed off, or would you be like, bet I'm freaking opening this thing up?
No,
I'm gonna go
that'd be
exploring.
me.
Yeah, and if they're connected to so many places, like
But then again, too, I don't know. I'd probably be afraid that like a homeless person in LA like was
would
down
come
there
in.
just like vibing in their own little world underneath the ground,
Yeah, that's one thing. Like these people go down there exploring,
or
like
like gangs and stuff. Like, ooh,
yeah, like you have to be careful. Even like where we live, there's an abandoned school, and I've gone when I was in high school. We used to like sneak in there and go walking around. That was always one thing is like you got to go in there and be careful. Like go with a group of people
yeah,
because there's like, there could be squatters or whatever, and you never know who's gonna like come at you. So you have to be, especially like that's what people do in abandoned places.
yeah,
And like if you're homeless, wouldn't that be the best place? Like okay, you can escape all of the elements, and you could be underground, no wind, no rain, no, just a nice little dry environment.
yeah. I'm trying to find a I'm trying to find a map of all of the tunnels that are in LA.
They're everywhere. I also saw another video of a girl who was saying her oh no, it wasn't a video. It was on Reddit. This girl was saying her parents owned I think her mom owned like a flower shop and her dad I don't remember what it was, a different business, and they were like kind of near each other, but she
Mhm.
said both of the businesses in the basements had access, like I think they used to be part of the speakeasy stuff,
That
and
tracks.
she loved it because she would go when she was younger, she'd like go in the tunnel and like go between the two businesses.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. And I think that's essentially what they were used for is they were trying to sneak around because alcohol was banned and Lord only knows what else was banned. Um,
Probably doing drugs and who knows what else.
yeah. No, for sure. So The tunnels, from what I found, are still accessible. At least the downtown tunnels are still accessible to public city workers. They can
Mm-hmm.
use them for shortcuts and stuff. But how often, I don't know. I couldn't find anything on that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I've just seen a lot of videos of people going down there, and I feel like they still have to be somewhat used because there are mirrors that are
yes,
down there. That's almost like to see other vehicles coming. Like people must go down there with like I don't know if you're a city worker, I take like a go kart or whatever those little
yeah,
things are.
yeah,
Um, and there's also like lights that are still accessible down there. Like if they did not want to use them, they could find a way to completely close it off.
yeah,
But they're still accessible entrances. There's lights. There's like it's modernized. So
yeah. No, for sure. I think that I definitely believe these are real. Like, and I definitely would believe that the city workers are still using these
yeah,
to get from point A to point B. It makes sense.
there's
Like,
reasonable explanations
yeah,
for it.
no, 100%. Yeah.
But people like to find
Every
other reasons to.
right. Well, I mean, we are a conspiracy podcast, so
Yeah, and I mean I wouldn't doubt it.
right, right, right. Am I saying that there's no shady stuff going on down there? No, I'm not.
It's convenient to have these tunnels hooked
Right.
up to homes like Diddy's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Also, little sidetrack. I just found out, I didn't know this, but um Diddy has a baby mama. What is her name?
Cassie?
Something Porter, Kim Porter.
Oh, oh, yes.
They have like 3 kids together, and I guess
Yes.
he adopted one of her kids from like a previous marriage.
Yeah.
Anyway, she died in like 2018.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of is it Jeffree Star? That one he like does makeup and all those things.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was saying that she was offed.
I've heard that.
Like he's got proof. He's like, "Yep." There was like some interview he was doing and he's like, "Yeah, she was offed." I was like,
I've heard that, yeah.
And then I was like, well, when he first said it, I'm like, who is Kim Porter? And then I was like, oh, Diddy's baby mama?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I went through a dive on that. And I thought because there was a video when he brought that up in the interview because Jeffrey was asked about the Autobahn. And they said, is it real? And he goes, yep, 100%. It exists.
I saw that video, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
And he
that
said
on
only the
TikTok.
1%ers have access. But he said that
See, that's what I'm saying. Will Smith isn't a 1%er.
yeah.
That
And he said
slap
it's
with
offered to some people. Like it was offered to him, and he said he got this weird like vibe, like a pit in his stomach, and he's like, I couldn't go. Like
I
I
wonder if
don't
they
want
have to
nothing
have
to.
like you know how I get like some retirement communities you have to have barcodes on your cars to get into the gate
And they
or like
scan it.
a swipe card or something if
There's
you
literally
have
just
to
like a little like picture hanging from their mirror, their
right.
rearview mirror.
Yeah.
It's like Autobahn access. Like, yep,
Right.
come on in. There's a gate
No, literally.
attendant.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or like there's like a secret code, like fingerprints, eyeballs.
Yeah. I wonder, yeah. I would if this is legit. Well, let's get into this later. We got another tunnel, but we'll talk about the
All right, let's
Actor
talk
Bahn
about the
next.
civic centers, and then
Yeah.
we'll get into the
Yeah.
Actor Bahn. I keep
Yeah.
on saying Actor Bahn.
Octobahn.
Oh, like a Cinnabon? Oh,
Oh, but yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
All right, civic center tunnels. What about them?
All right. So, in 1951, the Civic Center tunnels were used for transporting mobster Mickey Cohen from his jail cell at the Hall of Justice to his court dates at the courthouse. Um, Another infamous usage of this tunnel was in 1960. They ended up transferring the Hall of Administration over to a completely new building 2 blocks down the road from where it actually was initially.
Okay.
So then at the end of that tax season, the city of Los Angeles had billions and billions of dollars in this building because online banking obviously wasn't a thing back then.
Yep.
So they had billions of dollars that they had to get transferred from the initial building to the new building. So they used these tunnels to transfer that money. That way they weren't on top of the ground getting
Exposed to a
mobbed
bunch of.
to get all of this money.
Yep.
So they used the tunnels for that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then yeah, so we know that the Civic Center tunnel's at least 2 blocks long. Whether I don't know, I've never seen these buildings. I was more so like Malibu and stuff out in LA, but yeah, I don't know how sparse these buildings are, but I would assume they might be pretty close if they're all like if it's like a judicial district of Los Angeles. I don't know. That's just me guessing though.
I've only been to California once, and I went to, I don't know what part I was in. I think I was near LA because I was on that highway.
Oh, the
The
PCA.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and I went to the Museum of Death.
Oh,
It's like a museum where it has like a bunch of people who are like serial killers, and it
oh,
has like their stuff.
yeah,
It's very creepy, like a
yeah. I'm sure.
terrible vibe.
Ooh, is that in Venice Beach? That sounds like it belongs
That's
in Venice Beach. Venice Beach is a wild place.
it's in LA,
But like, what part of LA?
Los Angeles.
No. Okay. Go.
I don't know a lot about. Is there supposed to be something else? The address says it's on Selma Ave, Los Angeles, California.
Mm,
Let me pull up a map. It looks like it's near West Hollywood.
also tracks.
It's in between West Hollywood and East Hollywood, like right smack in the middle.
Yep. Yep. That
Is LA just like a very general, like, I thought LA was an area
yeah, well, LA is the city, but then so like there's like different parts
of
like
LA?
of LA. So like you know how in New York City there's like the Bronx, the Queens,
The Bronx.
not the Queens, but
Yeah.
Queens, you know, like all of those different like districts of the city. So like
Mm.
people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm from the Bronx," or "I'm from Queens," or "I'm from Jersey City," whatever. There's different like sectors
Oh.
broken within the city.
Also, while we're talking about Hollywood, I saw a another video where someone was claiming that the Hollywood sign, where the H is, there's actually an entrance for a tunnel, but this one isn't connected to anything, and they keep old documents in there. And
Mm.
like this tunnel was already there before they put the Hollywood sign up, but then they put that sign there as kind of like a marker for certain people who have access to it.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild? So like you go to the
Yeah.
H and then like you go down there, and I don't know what documents they keep down there. I think it's like Hollywood related stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah.
I've always, I don't know. I've always, my opinion, thought that LA was like the city of secrets.
For sure.
Like Hollywood is sinister. So many things go down in Hollywood. So many. I mean, it is insane what money will get you. Like, you know.
I was reading this whole thing on Reddit where people were just giving their experiences on and I feel like you get a lot of good info on there because people like they'll just tell you their whole life story.
Right.
And there was a lot of people that were talking, like one guy in particular was saying like he's a driver, truck driver, and he's like, I've gone through like Las Vegas, which is the city of sin, and he's like, I've been to all these places, and he's like, when I am in Hollywood, like I feel the sickest, like you could tell there's just like a dark vibe.
There
And,
is.
and he's like, I don't feel that in other, like I go, the city of sin. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't feel it as he does like the same vibes that he feels. Like he feels the darkest vibes when he's in Hollywood. And even Jeffree Star said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people say that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been there, but yeah, I didn't get great vibes when I was out there. Like Malibu, beautiful.
Hmm.
We went to Santa Monica, also beautiful. But like I stayed in West Hollywood, and yeah, it was just like it's dirty. It's
Isn't
like
West Hollywood where they have all the stars of fame too?
no, I don't think so.
Oh.
That's like downtown LA. That's like on uh Rodeo Drive, I think.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. You got to like get into the city for that cuz it's like there's like a big amphitheater where they host like the Oscars and all that stuff and
Yeah.
it's
Isn't that the Dolby Theater? Dolby
yes,
Center?
I think so. Yeah. And it's like right outside of that. There's like this big long staircase you got to go up. It's a whole thing. But yeah, no,
We
I was
should
not
take a trip there and then do a live podcast while we're there.
yeah, honestly,
All of our fans can come watch.
I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to start traveling, do travel podcasting.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Once we get into this full time,
Yeah.
yeah, I would so be down for that.
We did just do our first merch drop, so if you guys are interested, check out our social media.
Yep. Shoot us a message on Instagram, TikTok. Send us an email if you want. If you are interested in merch.
Yeah, if you guys think we should do a merch drop, let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Send in the comments, even in this video, if you're on YouTube, if you're
I think you could do comments on Spotify.
okay. Yeah, so drop us a comment. We'll be
Yeah.
sure we start checking those more often.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm wearing my merch right now. Pretty pumped.
I am too. I'm so excited. And these shirts are so
I
comfortable.
love a good comfort color tee.
Oh, they're so comfortable. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so back into the Civic Center tunnels.
Yes.
So, the tunnels were actually, this set of tunnels were actually closed in 1994 when the Hall of Justice sustained damage from the Northridge earthquake.
Okay.
So, as far as I've researched, it says that this tunnel is actually probably one of the easiest to get into because there's like this weird standalone elevator behind the Hall of Records that you can literally just like go in. So,
I'm assuming the elevator doesn't work anymore, but if there's like a whole.
I don't know.
You think that'd be a liability? Like there's a whole elevator shaft that's exposed? Like
No, literally. And also, like, I found this on the internet. Like,
yeah.
all of my research comes from internet, from facts that are already stated on the internet.
And someone who's like, oh, I want to go explore these tunnels, you do that research. It's like, okay, but that's where I'm going to go and try and access
literally.
these things.
Yeah.
I feel like you could get lost down there so easy because if there's so many connections,
Yeah.
like.
Also, like I said, who knows who's going down there? Like, if this elevator still works, like, what are you running into down there?
That just gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like, claustrophobic. Like, I feel like I'm going to go down there and I'm not going to come out and then I'm not going to be able to breathe.
No, literally. You're just, like, going to die down there.
Yeah. Like, unless you, like, tie some yarn to yourself and, like, make a trail.
Yeah.
So you can pull yourself back out.
No, literally. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it would be cool to do. It would be cool to explore them, but.
If they did like guided tours, I could pay someone a legit business,
and that was like in a group of 50 people.
Yeah, and they like had signs all over the place about how to exit. Sure.
No, right.
But like, I'm not gonna go down there with a flashlight with like me and you and see what we find.
Absolutely not.
No. I did see another video. Literally, I don't know if you saw me. I passed by your house because I was watching this as I was pulling in your neighborhood.
Oh no, I didn't pay attention.
But there was this TikTok video of these people who were exploring, and when they were down there, it brought them into a big room that looked like, they called it like a time capsule because it kind of was, but like it almost looked like you were standing outside of a giant like city building, but you were inside. So like the walls were like super high and it had a bunch of windows, and then there was like racks and racks of clothing everywhere, and there was like this giant brick wall that they were going behind. And then I turned off the video, so I don't know what happened afterwards. But I was like,
to be continued.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know next time.
Right.
So it's not just tunnels. Like there's like rooms.
Yeah.
That has a bunch of like. So there's obviously something that goes on. Like why are there racks and racks of clothing down there?
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe like I was saying before. Maybe it's the homeless people. Maybe the homeless people are like setting up camp down there. You never know.
All right. Well, before I get into more of the stuff that I've seen, let's continue.
Okay. Do you have anything else on the Civic Center tunnels?
No, I pretty much had what you had.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the only other thing I had about it was just that the theories that people claim they're used for more sinister activities.
Yep.
Duh.
I did read that too. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the tangents.
The Actor Bahn, the juicy stuff.
The juicy. So, just as another disclaimer, I know we have our disclaimer on the intro, but everything we say here on out, our opinion, has been, will be, alleged, all the things. So
yeah, no facts here, just what we're saying off the top of our heads. So don't take it serious because I know nothing.
No, there is nothing.
Exactly.
There's nothing.
Like if you look it up, it's all just like, yeah, people are like, oh yeah, we have access, but.
Right.
Okay, so like the video with Will yeah. So like
right.
The video with Will Smith when he's like, "Oh yeah, like he's on the highway." He's like, "Where's this Actor Bahn? I don't want to sit in this traffic." It's like, "Okay, well, if people are calling you out saying you have access to this tunnel, wouldn't you be like, "All right, bet I'm going to hop on the highway, video myself." And be like, "Oh no."
No, literally, you're an actor.
Yeah, you're acting,
think we
bro.
believe you?
I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth, especially if you slap people.
Right, especially if you slap Kid Rock in the face. Yeah, no.
Chris Rock.
What did I say?
Kid Rock.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think Kid Rock would take that.
No, Kid Rock would whoop him.
He'd be like, "Excuse me."
That'd be a good fight to watch.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Please go slap Kid Rock because I want to see that. I want to see him whoop your ass.
Right. Whoop your booty. All right.
That would be great.
Actor Bahn.
Yes.
Is it real or is it not?
I think that the actual tunnels are accessed by actual actors or the one percenters, wealthy.
By actual tunnels, you mean the downtown tunnels?
Yeah, like the speakeasy ones,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Okay.
especially because there is, I think there is one, let's see, there's tunnels beneath major entertainment venues like the Dolby Theater, which is where the Oscars are held,
Yep.
and other studio lots where they like film movies and stuff. So like, it would make sense to me that they would use them if they're there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so the Oscars, and there's certain people that are trying to like,
Get there quickly.
yeah, get there quickly or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like part of it is that, but then also like, is there a secret
And I feel
that
like
we don't know about that like you could drive? Because they make it seem like there's an entrance somewhere, and then you drive your cars around, and there's like a Starbucks. But like, okay, so
no,
the one guy who
literally.
says that doesn't make sense to me because he's like, because the person who interviewed him was like, so you worked at, I guess his NDA was up, and he was like, oh, I work at this Starbucks that's in the Actor Bahn,
Mhm.
and I know it exists. And
Mhm.
then he said he saw people like Seinfeld down there, and they're like, okay, is he a good tipper? And he's like, they don't have to pay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you open a Starbucks that's free to them?
Right.
If they got the money.
Unless the Actor Bahn has a membership. So they are the one
Ooh.
percenters, but the one percenters have to pay, let's say, $1 million a year, right? Because they're the 1%, maybe 2 million. I don't
Kind of
know.
like being at a golf course. Like certain people can join, but when you
Correct.
join, you have to pay a crap ton of money.
Correct. And then you
And
get
then
all
there's
the
benefits.
correct. Yes.
So maybe the one percenters are invited
Yep.
to do this, and then you have to pay a hefty fine, but then you get access to.
Correct. Like the secret society of the Autobahn, the Actor Bahn.
So maybe Will Smith is just salty because he was too cheap to pay.
Yeah. Or because he done ruined it for himself.
They uninvited him.
Yeah.
And
I feel
again,
like
if you had access, you have an NDA that you signed, so you can't talk about it.
100%.
Mm.
I feel like too, like, back to your point, like, about this guy, like, I feel like if you look anything up about the Actor Bond, you're gonna see the video of this guy talking about it. And he's the one where he's talking about how he worked at the Starbucks.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you are a worker at the Starbucks in the underground Actor Bond tunnel, your NDA isn't going to expire. It's going to be until you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's my only hang up
And
with the
also,
whole
how did
thing.
he get this job?
No, right.
Like, he was working at a regular Starbucks for a while, and they're like, hey, sir, we have a proposition for you.
Right. Or like when you go to apply on jobs, like for jobs, and it's like secret government agency.
Yeah.
Like maybe he was one of the ones that
That's like
clicked it.
location.
Unknown.
Actor Bahn. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, right.
Unless it's like you have to work for. Oh, you know how they have those little agencies where like you're looking for a job, and then they're like, oh, we have
Like a talent agency?
not the talent ones, but they have it for, well, they do have talent agencies, but they have ones for like actual jobs. Like if you're looking for, you can go to a place if you're looking for a job and you're like, oh, these are the categories. And they're like, okay. Like instead of like using jobs.com, there's like actual people that tell you.
No, yeah.
And like, you ever see those shows like Shameless? I don't know if you ever watched that one.
I haven't watched it.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
You need to start watching TV.
I know.
Okay. I'll give you,
I'm a movie girl.
I'll explain it.
YouTube movie girl.
All right. So in the show Shameless, there's the main character, Frank Gallagher.
Yep.
And he is a drunk. He doesn't work. He uses, like he likes to get workers' comp or whatever. Like he purposely does that so that he doesn't have to work.
Yep.
So long story short, he went to one of these places and went to this guy and he's like, hey, I'm, looking for a job. And the guy's like, giving him good jobs. And he's like, no, he's like, you know what I'm talking about. And the guy was like, okay, and like pulls out of his desk a secret list. And it was like the list of like the jobs that you're most likely to get injured and get workers' comp for. So like he went to those interviews and found the one that he can get hurt like the easiest. So he could like work there for like a day or two, get hurt, get workers' comp, be on his way.
Yeah.
Anyways, what if like people go to those and then they're like, oh yeah, like I'm looking for a job with famous people, and they're like, okay, like you could be a waiter, and he's like, no, you know what I'm talking about, and they pull out of the desk and like,
you know what I want.
Here's the openings at the Actor Bahn.
Right. Maybe I don't know. I feel like you would almost have to be like connected
somehow,
some way.
But they do have jobs for people like if you want to kind of get into the industry, and I don't know how, but like if you want to get into the industry, you could do things like, oh, you cater for events for the top 1%, and then you kind of like get connected in ways and hope you can kind of like plug yourself, but that's your way to like get in when you want to be
No, right.
part
Yeah.
of their society.
Yeah. I don't know. Who do you like? If you had to like one person that you think is in the 1%, who is it? First person that comes to your mind.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk is creating his own set of tunnels.
I was gonna say I also saw. I want to say it was a Reddit forum. I could be wrong. That said that he actually, for some, so the Actor Bahn, was actually owned by Epstein. He supposedly, allegedly died. It was up for sale. Elon bought him. Now he owns the Actor Bahn, but he's trying to create his own, acting like the Actor Bahn doesn't exist.
Right.
Connect it all. All of a sudden,
boom,
I own. Like, but take credit for something that was already there, and maybe expand on it,
and
fluff
Elon's
it up a little
making it like public knowledge.
Yeah, telling it like he knows
like
that it's a real thing. So he's like, oh, I own it. I'll give it a few years to whatever. And then I'll open it up and be like, hey, guess what I created when it was already there? He just bought it for a pretty penny.
No. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is buying and can buy anything and everything he wants. So that wouldn't surprise me.
He could buy frickin' Pluto.
He could buy Pluto.
Mars, whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if stuff in space is actually for sale.
I'm going to go with no.
Like, who owns that? No one really owns it.
No, because then it's like we would have like...
Or could you claim
it? World war to fight over who gets what planet. Like it
turns into Star Wars?
It's like a child custody case with all of the countries.
Well, like, so you know how like America, people discovered it, they claimed it. It's space is unclaimed space.
So then technically
So like if we landed on the moon first, technically America owns the moon. Now whoever makes it to Mars owns it because we were there first. Now if you want to fight us for it, like we put a flag on the moon. I mean it fell over, but whatever.
Right.
Allegedly. If we were even there. Right. Go back to our moon landing episode for info on that.
Yeah. Right.
Subtle plug.
Right.
But if we landed there, we put our flag there, we own it. It's the moon is part of America.
Yeah. Well,
so like can I buy a property?
The moon is also a part of Russia and the moon is also a part of China.
But we were there first, so they could get out.
Yeah. I don't know how well that would blow over telling Russia.
That's what I'm saying. We need to have like
about the moon.
Like you guys want land up there? We'll take your spaceship up there. We'll take ours, and we'll have a little Star Wars fight.
Right.
See who owns it.
Duke it out on the moon.
Yeah, you can't duke it out here because you need to physically claim it. You got to duke it out up there.
Yeah. Whoever's helmet falls off first, that's who wins.
Dude, it's literally like Star Wars projecting the future. They knew this was going to happen.
No, literally.
I love Star Wars.
I've never seen it.
Girl.
I know. I've never seen Harry Potter either.
No, I'm not a Harry Potter person, so we can agree on that.
Whenever I tell people I have never seen Harry Potter, that's always like the most controversial point.
Right? Dude, Harry Potter's... We want to talk about a cult.
Yeah.
Harry Potter people.
Harry Potter people, yeah. I know a lot of them, so I'm not gonna get too deep into that, and I don't want to offend anybody, but
they're in it.
They do be ride or dies.
And I mean, maybe if I watched it, I would get more. I was never a Star Wars person. My husband talked me into it, and now we've watched them chronological order, release date order, and then we kind of just keep restarting because they keep coming out with new ones.
Right on.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so back to what we were saying. You say Elon Musk is 1%.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to say...
I mean, he's like one of the richest men in America. He has
100%.
to.
Yeah.
But, okay, are you saying 1%, like the top 1%ers, like, that just have money? Or like the 1%, like the elite, the exclusive access, like the...
Yeah, the elite, the exclusive access, who is...
I mean, I'm still going with Elon then, but...
Right.
I mean, there's people that, like, are billionaires because their family owns a crap ton of stuff and they just got money. But like
you think Hollywood, who do you think, like, who's the first person that comes to your mind? Let's not do Elon Musk because I think he's claiming that...
He's more on wealth and stuff than just being, like, a Hollywood 1%er.
But
okay, Beyonce.
Yes. But does Beyonce live in LA?
I don't know, but she's got her claws in everything.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are 100% using the Actor Bahn.
Can I just say, Beyonce, beautiful. Jay-Z, This man cheated on... You get Beyonce the way that you look, and you're going to cheat on her?
Yeah.
Sir, because her diss track, oh, she comes out with an entire album. Like, I'm not a Beyonce fan, but I will
I
say
love Beyonce.
there's a few songs I'm like,
Oh,
they're good,
love Queen Bee.
but I'm not like obsessed. But her album, I think it's called Lemonade.
Yep.
That whole Jay-Z diss track where she's just spilling it, giving it all. Oh, I
Yeah.
bought like me and my son are in the car headbanging like, yeah, Beyonce, get it.
No, literally, like, you tell him, girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it gets me in my feels. Like I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Beyonce's definitely the one percenters. I think the first person that comes to my mind is Jennifer Aniston.
Ooh,
Jennifer Aniston, Ben Affleck.
I feel like
Jennifer-
Jennifer Aniston is like innocent. She's nice. I
But
love
I think-
her. I
no.
love her.
She is
But she's up there.
a gem of a human.
She's always staying. You never see drama about her.
No.
She's never in, like, she does
No.
her job and she gets out.
Yep. And I think that's why she would use the Actor Bahn. Just
It
to
would
be,
make
like,
sense.
in out.
Yeah.
Like she's not
Like she's at point A to point B. I got somewhere to be.
Yep.
I'm running late or whatever.
I
I
can
got 2
afford
places
it.
to be tonight. I can afford it. Let's go.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's exactly why.
Yeah.
As to where, like, Ben Affleck, I mean, my opinion, I feel like he's a little sketchy sketch, so I feel like he'd be going to all his girly pops' houses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, also, I looked it up. Beyonce, and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
They both, they have a mansion in Malibu and in Bel Air.
Mm.
So they probably go between the two.
Yeah. So they're using the Actor Bahn.
Yeah, because how are you going to get from Malibu to Bel Air quick?
Yeah. No.
Could you imagine you own 2 houses? Well, first of all, can you imagine owning 2 houses?
No. That's a lot to clean.
And then on top of it, to have a tunnel and be like, oh, I want to go to Malibu today. Okay, bet. And then you hop in your tunnel, zoom on over.
Grab a
You're on the-
Starbucks on the way.
Yeah, grab a Starbucks on the way, head out to your home. And
What
that's
a
like,
life.
all right, I want to go back to Bel Air. I forgot my cat. Boom.
Yeah.
Back to Bel Air.
What a life. What a life.
Yeah.
Wow. We need to strike it big here. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get into that Actor Bahn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to be a 1%er.
Guys, help us get to the 1%er, okay? If you help us get to the 1%er,
We will expose
status,
the Autobahn.
we will
Actor Bahn.
we will make sure you guys have the exclusive first look at the Actor Bahn.
And then we'll lose our
And
1%.
that's a promise. Yeah.
The second we get it, we will expose them and then we will lose.
We'll be shunned from Hollywood.
But at least you'll know.
Right.
That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's I think for me, the whole thing, it's a fun theory, right?
Yeah.
It's a fun theory, and it's fun to talk about it, and it's fun to discuss the what ifs.
Like, it doesn't hurt if it exists. If they're
No.
only using it for like a highway, almost like
Right.
a skyway system. Chicago has a skyway, I think.
Yeah.
Like if it's used,
And like most cities have subways, and like New York has a subway, like, you know what
yeah,
I'm
so you
saying?
pay for the subway, or in Chicago you pay for the skyway.
Yep.
The tolls are expensive, but you can get there faster.
Correct.
So
No
same
waiting
thing
in
to Actor
traffic.
Bahn. It's like, okay, it's only exclusive to them, but like if they want to pay for it to get from point A to point B, like who cares?
Yeah. No, for sure. I just don't know if I'm actually if I actually believe it. Like,
I also feel like
you're
why
telling me this has been secret for how long? I mean, now maybe it's not such a secret, but is it true? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
But why would that be something that they want to expose to people? Like, you don't want the Gen Pop going down
No.
there ruining it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, okay, like
Unless they got high security, so it's not like they could
Unless-
anyways.
like we've talked about before, how, the government plants people to get these ideas into our heads and get them on these theories, and that way they're not shocked when it actually comes true.
Yeah, they're going to one day drop this. People are going to be like, yeah, whatever, we've known that. Next.
Right. So is that what this is? Like, I
just
know.
don't see a reason for it to need to be hidden.
That's what, yeah.
And also, why would you need a Starbucks down there? Because isn't the whole point is like, it is like an express, like I'm trying to get from point A to point B. I'm not trying to stop and get a coffee and chit chat.
Well, if you've got actors that are taking the Actor Bahn from like the closest entry from their home to their work, then they could grab a coffee on the way.
Yeah, because they don't want to. I mean, how often are people in LA seeing
Right.
Will Smith in the drive-thru
Right.
for Starbucks?
Right.
Now you're going to see a video of that drop.
Well, and then the kid too, the kid that was talking about how he worked at the Starbucks, like he's spitting off like Seinfeld's order, and it's like, okay, but
Oh yeah, he said something. He's like,
have you worked at a
latte,
regular?
2 shots milk.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, like, have you worked at a Starbucks where he came before above ground?
Yeah, I
And that's
guess
how you
you
know
you
that.
really don't
Like,
see.
like, mm,
I mean, back in the
does he have a
day,
friend that works at
when
an
we
above
were
ground
when we were
Starbucks?
younger, they used to have those magazines for like the kids,
Mm-hmm.
um, teens.
Yep.
But it would show you like you go through and you see like photos of like, oh, Miley Cyrus was seen getting an acai bowl, and it would have
Yes.
like a photo of her, and you're like, oh, dude, and
No,
then like
literally.
because you're getting all the tea from the magazine at your
Yes.
local corner shop.
Yep.
What do they call those?
Like 17 and
Um,
dude, I used to love those magazines. And the posters that came in them all over my walls.
oh yeah, dude, I had my walls littered with these.
Yeah.
But it was always like the hard choice of like, okay, what if there was one where you open it up like it was like a 4-pager and
Yeah.
it was like a big one, but
Yeah.
on the back side there was like 2 smaller ones.
Yeah.
But you had to cut it. It's like, do I sacrifice the one on the front
No,
or do I
right.
take one of the ones on the back? Hard
Or
choices.
or if you had two of your favorite people, front and back, that was literally the hardest decision as a teenager.
And then you had to buy those packages of that blue like sticky stuff to stick it on your walls.
I used push pins.
No, I was not allowed to put holes in my walls.
Yeah, my dad let me do push pins in my walls.
Oh, Tiger Beat.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, 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 yes.
So my 90s, early 2000 people, you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
J14.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, these are the
Wow. Blast
yeah.
from the
I
past.
used to every time my family would go on a trip. That was
Yep.
like my number one thing. We stopped at a gas station or if we were in an airport, I was allowed to buy like one or two.
Yep.
And then I'd spent the whole time going through. I'm like, oh, what's the tea with the celebs now?
Same.
Because that was our social media.
Yeah, no, same. It's exactly what I did. Every single time I was in an airport, grabbed a magazine.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, bet.
But back then that was like the only tea that you get. So you'd be like, oh my goodness, like someone spotted, so and so getting coffee.
Yeah.
But now it's like you have social media, so someone was like, "Oh my goodness, Kylie Jenner was getting coffee." People are like, "Okay, and who
Like,
cares?
cool. Right.
Whose baby she having now?"
No, exactly.
Like that's all.
Exactly.
Can I just say, people are claiming nonstop that she's having Timothy's baby, but she was literally just at the Oscars like a week ago, and she's skinny as all get out.
Yeah.
Like you guys have been saying this for a year. She would have had the baby by now. I
Well,
don't think she's pregnant.
no, yeah. But also, too, like, how long have they been dating? Long enough to
I
produce
think
a
a couple
baby?
years.
But
Also,
also,
there
how
was-
big did she get with, like, how big was her belly with her other kids?
I feel like she didn't pop towards it till the end. Well, I don't know. She
So-
with her first one, she hit it all the way until the end. Like
Yeah.
people speculated.
Yeah.
And then her second kid, she announced it like halfway through. So she like posted pictures and stuff
Yeah.
of her belly. But also, could you imagine being a 1%er like that? And like, okay, like you
The
just wanna-
Kardashians, 1%ers.
Oh yeah.
100%. No doubt in my mind.
But like that,
All
like
of them.
you want to hide your pregnancy, or you just want to like enjoy it. You don't want to deal with the paparazzi, and then they're flying helicopters over your house to get a photo of you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
That's nuts.
That's wild.
Like some
Dude.
people are just too obsessed. Like, okay, like if she have a baby, like it's a little bit of tea, whatever. But like I'm not willing to go hunker down around your property, fly above your house. Like
Absolutely
at the end
not.
of the day, she's just a regular human. Like,
Yeah.
there's no difference between her and Sally Joe down the street having a baby. Like,
Nope.
okay, whatever.
She's still gonna go get her nails and her pajamas and her robe.
Yeah.
Like,
You might be
she's still
taking a
having her
golf cart to
morning
do it, and it
coffee.
might be a silk PJ set compared to me walking down there with my plaid PJs.
right. That I got from Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
No,
still gotta do
100%.
it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
still have to eat.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, they are definitely 1%ers. But they don't have to have tunnels between houses because they all live in the same little neighborhood. So all they
Yeah.
have to do is like literally cross your backyard.
They get in their little golf carts and just go. They're 20-seater golf carts because there's 5,000 of them.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
got their own little,
Their own little compound. It's the
Yeah.
Kardashian compound.
basically.
Yeah.
Which I think that'd be cool, like if you were close with your family and
Yeah. No, that'd be sick.
as
Like-
long as you're close with them. If you don't get along, it'd be like, I gotta move.
No, literally. Me and my cousin, we've always joked that we're gonna get houses like on land, and then we're gonna have like a covered bridge that connects our two houses. That way we can just like go back and forth.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well,
One
maybe
day when we have money,
yeah, when this podcast takes off, you can make it happen.
right on.
I got dreams.
I do too. I got some big old dreams. I
some-
got a champagne taste on a beer budget. That's for sure.
Yeah, did you say Beyonce was your idea of like a 1%er?
Beyonce, I agree with you. Yes. Jennifer Aniston and Ben Affleck were
Oh, yeah,
mine.
yep.
Kardashians, 100%.
Yeah.
Don't know why they weren't my first thought, but 100% they're there.
Yeah. And I always think about, I don't know why, but I watch the Kardashian show,
Yeah,
Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
I
and
used
I
to.
always think about like when they go to like their big events.
Yep.
Like there was, I think it was last season, they were going to, what's the one where you have to dress up for a certain theme every year?
The Met Gala.
The Met, yeah. And Kim was like running late, and they were like driving in the van, and she was standing there and like couldn't sit down, And then because of dress, she always is. First of all, can we just say why is she always wearing dresses where she can't move? Like she can't
Yeah.
sit, she can't do anything. She's like wobbling around. I mean, she looks great, but she can't move.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I'm going for comfort all day, every day.
Yeah.
I don't care
I'd be
how
like,
I
what's the
look.
coolest but also comfortable dress? Because I want to sit down and pig out because I'm sure they got food there. Good
Yep.
food.
Yep. 100%.
I'm like, what if you got to
I'm
pee?
showing up in my gym shorts and my t-shirt. Give me the food.
I'm a 1%er. No one cares.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Like Adam Sandler.
Yeah, dude.
Adam Sandler.
He was at
he's
the
my spirit animal.
Did you see he was at the Oscars and they called him out? They're like, "Yo, what are you doing wearing like your sweatshirt and your?"
Yeah. In his
He
gym
always just
shorts.
looks like a tired mom. Just
Yeah, he does.
I
love
it.
Yeah.
Oh, Anyways, so Kim Kardashian last season when they were going to the Met, she was like in the van, couldn't move, whatever. They missed the entrance, the van. They like went too far,
Yeah.
but they were like running late and they were like in traffic. But
Yeah.
anyways, my head always goes to that. Like, okay, well, I guess not the Oscars, the Met.
Yeah.
The entrance is in like a general road area.
Yeah.
So they can't like maybe they could use it to get to there, but
Right.
then they can't like. But and of course the show is going to show them on regular streets and whatever because like if they filmed the Actor Bahn, it would expose it.
100%.
But
Plus
that's
the thing. So like, okay. So then my next question for you is, if the Kardashians, like we're saying, are a part of the 1%, they're always filming. They have a TV show. Do you
Yeah.
think their camera crew knows about the Actor Bahn?
probably not because they never filmed down there.
Or,
And
but,
also
like,
they do a
do
lot.
they go with them to film at a different location? You know what I'm saying?
I would say no. They would probably put them like
Oh, we'll meet you there.
yeah, like we'll meet you there. But also a lot of the time the cars have cameras inside them, which they could probably shut them off.
Yeah.
And one theory I saw, or I don't know, I saw something that was kind of like contradicting
Yeah.
the Autobahn. It's like, okay, I keep saying Autobahn, the Actor Bahn.
Yeah.
And they were saying like, if the Actor Bahn existed, how come all these celebrities use private jets? Which like the Kardashians are known
Yeah.
for this. Like they all live in like Calabasas area.
Yep.
And a lot of them, like they have like a home in Palm Springs. They'll use their private jet to fly to Palm Springs when it's like what, a 4-hour drive?
I don't know. Yeah, but
And it's like, okay, well, unless the Actor Bahn doesn't connect to there, but you
Right.
would think it would connect to Palm Springs where a lot of people have houses. Well, why would you take your private jet there?
yeah.
But it makes it a 30-minute plane ride, which, like, I mean, if I had that money, I'd be like, bet, yeah, I'm going to take my private jet to fly to places. But, like, what would be faster, taking a jet or driving underground? I don't know. I guess the other way,
Yeah.
it would probably be faster to take the plane because
Yeah.
if it's a 4-hour drive either way, you're
Or,
not
like, yeah,
getting
like,
traffic or anything, but, like, you still have to drive the distance.
how far? So what? Calabasas to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Let's look it up here.
So I guess I just contradicted that theory. Yeah, the theory that I saw is people were saying that why would they use their private jets when they have access to these? But sometimes the jet is still going to be faster than driving, whether you hit traffic or not.
So it looks like if you were to drive, Calabasas to Palm Springs is 2 hours and 53 minutes, so roughly 3 hours. It's 139 miles.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, if you
But then they take
hop
their
in a
private jet,
plane,
it's like 30 minutes
yeah,
fly time.
if that.
But
Yeah.
wouldn't you, if you
I mean,
had
you
the
gotta
money,
think,
wouldn't you
can
do that
you can
compared
literally
to
fly coast to coast, like east to west,
yeah?
in like 5 hours.
And wouldn't you rather do that than drive? Because driving is going to take longer, no matter even if you can have an underground access where you avoid. I'm thinking traffic is in like other cars, but also no street lights, no stop signs, no. I mean, you're just driving straight
Yeah.
and going fast.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
It's
I
still
don't
gonna
know.
be faster to fly.
100%. Yeah, it is. For
So
sure.
why? Yeah, I just debunked my own theory that I read. Okay. Next.
Problem solved. Check.
Yeah. I would fly too.
No, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you have anything else to say about?
I don't think so. I mean, this is literally just like a guessing game. It's a lot of opinions, no facts.
Yeah,
Like,
and there's
there's-
literally no proof of the Actor Bahn.
No, not at all. No, like, besides this one kid saying, "Oh, it's real. I worked in the Starbucks."
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's other people out there speaking on it, but
The thing that makes the most sense to me is the tunnels that we know for a fact exist from the Prohibition era
Yep.
are now repurposed, possibly for celebrity use.
Yeah.
The only thing to me is like, okay, the Actor Bahn, I believe it is for driving, not just for like walk. Because these tunnels that people
Yeah.
like, it's just like little walking
It's
around.
It's literally a highway underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the Actor Bahn would be, and these Prohibition ones were more just like walking around, moving stuff back and forth. Like you could probably drive golf carts or whatever, but I
Yeah.
don't think people would be using it for that. Like
No.
that makes me feel like it's used for more sinister stuff.
Yes. Yes.
But the
Agreed.
Actor Bahn, I feel like it's just maybe we don't know about it, but
Right.
like a golf membership or a country club membership, they
Yeah.
pay a lot of money, and they drive around from point A to point B,
Yeah. No, 100%.
and that's it. That's what makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I think that's I'm in agreement with you on that. I think that the original bootlegger tunnels and the civic center tunnels, I think that those are all real. But then I think that the Autobahn, I mean, I think it could be a thing.
Yeah.
Why we don't know about it, I'm not sure, unless they are using it
And
for
how
like
far does it
sinister
go?
stuff.
What does it actually connect to?
Right. Exactly. We don't know.
Yeah.
And like if there are like places that you take this Autobahn to, like, or Actorbahn to, where are they, like, where are the entrances and exits?
Yeah.
Like, are they like popping up in the middle of the road somewhere? Like
They
what,
just like camouflaged?
No, literally, like what are we doing? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like at some point people would find the entrances and exits, unless they're disguised as something else like military bases, and then they have like a bunch of guards out there and like, oh, this is military access only.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, and they don't think anything of it.
Unless they like come out inside of like tunnels that are already existing within the city, because I mean like highways, like I'm sure that there's like mini tunnels, you know what I'm saying, like
But how do other people not find
average people can use,
Yeah.
you know, that are on highways, like, you know how sometimes you drive through cities and you go through like a tunnel and then just goes underground.
Yeah.
Like, unless like their Actorbahn connects, like their exits are to merge into those, that way it's a little bit incognito, but then there are people on the inside that are like, oh, you can't enter here.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah, I don't know, I guess the logistics of how it would all work. I don't think it's the wildest theory. I can
No.
see it being true,
Yeah.
but all the logistics, you got me there.
Yeah, same. That's exactly how I'm feeling about it.
Mhm.
I'm 50-50.
Yeah.
If it's a thing, cool. If it's not, cool.
Doesn't affect me because I'll never have the money for it anyways.
It was fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm not like on Will Smith level, like, give me access.
no, literally, right. Yeah. No, I'm not there.
No.
But, all right. Well, I think
Hopefully
that,
one day.
yeah, no, right.
Yeah,
We
I
need-
think that's
we need your help.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
real.
I think that wraps us up.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that wraps us up for this episode. The underground city of LA.
Yep.
Catch us on the next episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a comment. Let us know about the merch. Seriously, if you guys want to start buying merch, we'll figure out a way to set up a shop.
Yeah.
Where you guys can purchase some merch. And yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Check us out on what we got: TikTok, Instagram, Paranoid Perspectives 25.
Yep. Paranoid Perspective 25 on all platforms. Paranoid Perspectives 25, I think, is our email as well.
Yep, at Gmail.
Yep, at Gmail. So go ahead and shoot us an email if you guys have any ideas on subjects that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, or even if you guys have experience with something that you want us to tell your story or your theory,
100%.
we'll
That'd
leave you
be
anonymous
awesome.
if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure you let us know in the email if you want to remain anonymous, and we obviously will respect your wishes. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool if we had some real time experiences from our listeners. That'd be really awesome to incorporate. So, but yeah, that does it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, and there's not much to watch because we don't have video yet, but
hopefully soon. We're learning. We're beginners.
Yeah.
We got to figure out all the technical stuff for that.
We got some logistics to work out, but that's definitely coming, and it's on our radar. So
yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yep. Bye.
See ya.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.